Welcome back to Plastic Surgery Untold, greatest podcast in the world, as voted by us. We got a little celebrity cast, a little coast to coast, well, at least central to West Coast plastic surgery here, but we're in your 2025 trends. We'll start with one, Matt Nykiel. Kick us off. What do you think is going to happen this year?
So I'm leading the 2025 trends. So number one, I'm going to take the easy one, which is I think that the weight loss GLP-1s are going to continue. I know we were talking about the other.
That was an easy one.
Yeah, it was. But I think on top of that, it's going to be new medications that are coming out. I think we're going to see more effectiveness. And I think that's going to drive the next trends of the plastic surgery, which is I think that we're going to continue to see more and more skin tightening issues, right? So I think that the skin tightening issues is just a sequelae of weight loss, et cetera. And then my third thing is actually, I think we're going to continue to see a increasing growth in hormones and peptides. And I think that that all fits together because I think part of, at least I've noticed in my practice, I'm sure you guys can say, is people come in, they start the GLP-1s, we see weight loss, we do some plastic surgery, typically some skin tightening procedures, and then they're on this lifestyle, as you call it, your fit and fabulous lifestyle, and they say, well, is there anything else we can do? And the answer is there is. We can do peptides, we can do hormones, and I just see that really, full throttle.
What is, we've evaluated patients. There's a lot of times when we're working up why they've gained weight or why they're not losing weight like they want to. They're a little hormone deficient, maybe some other things. And so I think it all plays in so cohesively.
You've taken the term fit and fabulous. I kind of started calling it now plastic surgery 360, right? Because people are really come to us just to look and feel better, to help improve their lifestyle. And I think we're now starting to get these pieces that, like, before it was surgery, and if it wasn't surgery, we'd say we can't really help you, but now we really can. I really love where we're at in plastic surgery at the space.
No question. Dr. Stephen Camp, introduce yourself and then tell us what you're thinking, because you're in my neck of the woods.
That's right, man. So bringing some Texas flavor to Southern California, which is, we got out at the right time, didn't we, brother?
Yes, you did.
So it's great to be here. I can't say anything more, but I think we're all of the same mindset with this kind of weight loss trend and the impact of its skin. Kind of to piggyback on what you were saying, Matt, is I think skin is a huge issue in our practices. And from a surgery standpoint, we typically think about, okay, we're going to cut it all out. I see one of the biggest trends in my practice is a lot of what I call the inside out phenomenon. And so people want to have the inside match the outside. And I think what we're going to start seeing is people starting to pay attention. They're going to come in, they say, hey, I want to control my weight and the weight loss. And they're going to notice changes in their skin, the laxity, but also the quality. And so I think what we're going to start seeing is people paying more attention to skincare, paying more attention to lasers, doing little subtle things. And for me, the trend in 2025 and where we're going with breast implants, with liposuction, everything else like that, is this kind of art of subtlety where people don't think surgery looks obvious. So I think eyelid surgery is going to be really popular, things that are not easily detectable. And I think in the world of facelift and everything else that we do, we're going to be doing things that are scar reduction, scar hiding, mitigation strategies, if you will, and that kind of inside out phenomenon where people kind of take care of themselves holistically. And, I know, Dan, you brought this up earlier today about these weight loss patients. They need a lot of internal support and from the nutrition side and things like that. So for me, I think, yes, it's the skin that's going to drive a lot of attention to things, but patients are going to be paying attention to stuff that isn't detectable. Why do I think laser resurfacing is going to be so important? Because you have a little predicted period of downtime, but then after that, everything just looks smoother and more clear. You're going to add skincare to that. Everything's going to be healthier, more uniform. And so that's where I see things going big time.
Dan?
All right, so I'm a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills, and I specialize in facial rejuvenation. I also do some body surgery. So I echo all the things that have been said here. I think what I agree with most is personalized approaches, holistic approaches, which is what you're saying. So taking a patient and identifying what are the deficiencies, how do we make their skin look better, how do we accessorize the weight loss process, and then also agreeing with what he's saying in terms of the most seamless results. So I think natural is in, and natural results are going to push the framework. But we're going to be hearing the words like preservation, which are the new kind of jargon in plastic surgery, to preserve the natural structures and create the most natural and realistic looking results. In my practice, the thing that I'm going to say is going to stand out and be different than all these concepts is to say, we're going to be pushing the realm of facial beautification, not just anti-aging. So in my practice, I actually change the anatomy in a deeper level in order to make the neck look better than it looked in their 20s. I'm not just removing skin and changing wrinkles. I'm actually creating more definition in the face. with techniques that are much more advanced anatomically and require much kind of greater understanding of the face to get the result that you're looking for. But those results can look natural if they're done and applied across the entire face. So as we're looking more holistically at treatment paradigms and surgical procedures and weight loss, in facial aesthetics, we're looking more holistically at the face. We're not just doing a facelift. I'm literally touching everything on the face to get a consistent, natural, and beautiful and balanced result. So I think that in 2025, the trend will be preservation approaches, better results, more natural, and with the education that goes on this within all of plastic surgery, everyone's results getting better, better looking patients. People don't see plastic surgery in 2025.
I think, and I know this is one of the most common procedures you do, but the facelift, I think you're going to see so many more facelifts because patients don't want to be overfilled. The day of just overfilling people is gone. And when you're having some of these really young patients losing, 50, 60, 70 pounds, I mean, that's a long time to wait. And so the nice thing about that is those are people that are actually going to do really, really well with those surgeries.
And that 50, 60, 70 pounds, I mean, I'm sure with you guys in your weight loss practice, that's starting to become the average. I mean, those were numbers that you would say that would be like, wow, so amazing. And now it's like, yeah, that's pretty typical.
Nothing makes me happier than actually being able to look a patient in the eyes and say, you can lose that weight and we can do surgery afterward. Before it was like a joke, we would all sit there and be like, there's no way this patient's going to lose 50 pounds.
Yeah, you throw out, and I'm like, you probably need to lose 50 pounds for us to successfully and safely perform surgery, try some diet, exercise, but you're right. I would say the chance that this is going to come back is unlikely.
And nothing makes me happier in my practice than having all these patients who are like, I've lost 50 pounds and then I had a tummy tuck and a breast surgery. Now I finally have the body that I've always wanted for. I think all of us as plastic surgeons are getting much more joy out of our practices.
I love it.
Because we're not just creating a beautiful result. We're actually seeing patients change their entire mindset, their health, their relationships with their families, and their body.
I want to give you credit because you also said something else up on the panel that I thought was spot on when you talked about also focusing on these patients when they're doing their GLP-1s, focusing on specific vitamin and mineral nutrient deficiencies specifically related to reducing fat. I mean, I didn't want to take that one of my top three, but I think you were right on that sort of holistic individual approach. It's just, and it needs to be echoed. I mean, I thought it was great. Honestly, Steve?
Totally agree. I love what you said about beautification, right? And it's really about maximizing what's possible for a patient. And the thing about these GLP-1s is, I mean, I would say even 5 years ago in my practice, it would be common for patients to not be surgical candidates and then talk about diet, talk about lifestyle, and essentially kind of had this broad, vague umbrella. Now we've got solutions. And you guys have been awesome in creating these solutions, tailoring what's going on with the patients. So patients now come back, right? And I think that's exciting.
They never leave.
That's exciting, right? So how many patients did you used to say a few years ago, you're just not a surgical candidate, and you just knew?
Talk to them. We would tell them front desk, ask the BMI. If it's above a 35, tell them we're not going to talk to them.
Yeah.
It's a waste of their time.
Right.
Now it's like above a BMI 35, they're going to go talk with this expert panel on weight loss. We're going to plug them in and we're going to give them solution. And we're going to spell out not just what your weight loss is going to be. We're going to tell you about, Morpheus 8, RF microneedling. We're going to talk about CO2 lasers, facelift, body lift, mommy makeover.
We have the unique ability to guide them through the entire journey and make sure they're set up for success with the nutrients
and show them a patient. And show them a patient.
People didn't know where to start, right? So they would start with us. And our answer was sort of like, look, it's just, we're behind you, but we're not the answer because it's not safe. We can't get you good results. And now we got to say, great, we can take you through this.
Now, the reason the four of you all are sitting, or the four of us are sitting here right now, is because there are surgeons who look at those types of discussions and say, I don't want to waste my time. And then there are different types of surgeons who say, wait a minute, the education is what brought me to this point in my career. I'm going to turn that around, give it back to the patients. That's what funnels it back into the practice. That's what makes us, they were talking about how a lot of practices are down right now. That's what makes a successful practice. Education is the keystone. That's what separates all of us up here from other surgeons on the market who are just thinking about an operation as a hammer and a nail.
That's right.
The one last trend that I'll throw out there, and most of us have been in this for a little while, men comes up every few years that men's going to be a big frontier, and it stayed pretty much about 8%. Yeah. I was giving it a skip year, leap year stuff. But I think, with weight loss, it's actually something that resonates. In the past, we used to just change out the pictures and be like, target this with men. But in our practice, we've already seen a lot more men, and most of them have initially started with weight loss, other things, or part of their significant other's transformation.
And for us, it's been offering the hormones, right? Like offering hormones, talking about hormone wellness. We have seen a large spike actually in helping to drive men in. Actually, that's been
But I appreciate you guys taking time. Any last thoughts for our patients and people out there listening?
I just think that the year of 2025, everyone's feeling like they're falling off of the big growth that happened during COVID. But I think the year of 2025 is actually going to be the second biggest year of growth in our practices. I would just say focus on what's important. Good surgery, good patient care. That's what drives every practice.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, one of the things we clearly talked about is how we're going to be able to access and give people options, successful options, right? So this is the year of resolutions with solutions.
Ooh,
I would say.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
For sure.
To echo off of what Dan said, I think, which is good. The consumer patient is smarter. They have access to more information. And so what differentiates, I think, successful practices, good practices, is experience. And you guys talked about that up on the panel. And so I think you're just going to continue to see that drive for better experience, which is ultimately just providing a better service and just taking it to the next level, which I think is awesome.
Well, I can appreciate you guys coming up. If you guys don't mind, maybe sharing your website and handle. So if people want to get a little bit more information, they can check you all out. And then I know you got a lot of more meetings to go to. But Matt, kick us off where they can find you.
I'm Dr. Matt Nykiel, located in Newport Beach, California. And my Instagram handle and TikTok is @SoCalPlasticSurgeon.
I am Dr. Stephen Camp in Fort Worth, Texas. My handle is @StephenCampMD. And my website is campplasticsurgery.com. Real creative.
I'm Dr. Gould in Beverly Hills, and my Instagram handle is Dr. Gould Plastic Surgery, and my TikTok is Dr. Gould, and I'm in Beverly Hills.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Can't wait to see these trends. We'll check in next year to see who was right. All right, we'll see you guys. Bye.